Friends, we have feedback direct from Poshmark. We actually have a lot of feedback direct from Poshmark. Stick around, grab a snack, grab a drink. This is going to be jam-packed. If you have not seen the video, for you, it was 2 days ago that I posted 2 days ago. Thank you to all of the thumbs up, the hypes, the comments. So many of you DM'd me on that video. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, pause this one. Pause and go and watch that, because I explain all of the huge updates that are coming to Poshmark very soon. Some of them have already happened and a lot are coming very soon. So pause this video, go and watch that one if you haven't seen it. But a lot of you DM'd me and you've gotten feedback direct from Poshmark, and I have more info direct. Let's just get into it. So the number one thing I heard from most of you from that video is that we should be given advanced notice about these changes, especially those of us that are ambassadors, that have been sellers for a long time, especially a lot of people that do promoted closets. You would think that they would get notice too. You're paying extra money to sell on that platform. And if you are new here, I started selling on eBay. That was my first platform. But before I started selling on Poshmark, I started selling on ThredUp. And if you have seen any of my ThredUp videos, you know they are the worst platform with changes. They will change things that day and just say that's what's happening. And that's what Poshmark is kind of giving me, those kind of vibes, especially with the bulk sharing being gone. By the way, my bulk sharing is gone. I know literally 2 days ago, I told you all, oh, I have Android, and I still have it because, you know, we're the last ones to get it. Poshmark is not messing around. Bulk sharing is gone, and usually for me, like, I'm the last one to get an update. Literally the day after I filmed that video 2 days ago, my app said update, and I was like, oh, this must be it. I can't believe, because I always get updates super late. Sometimes weeks, sometimes months after you all, most of you watching probably have Apple, get your updates. Like the update that happens when you cash out, I did a video about this, and ads started appearing when you cash out from the app. I got that months after a lot of my friends with iPhones had it, like months. I think it was like 3 or 4 months. Some of you had even commented and was like, I've been seeing that for 6 months. So they're not messing around with these updates, and it would be great. I mean, usually I've been selling on Poshmark. I'm coming up on my 7th year. March of 2026 will be my 7th year selling on the platform. Very historically, since I've been selling there, have been really good about notifying us when a change is coming, but I guess times are changing. I mean, I talked to some of you that actually went to PoshFest. They didn't mention bulk sharing going away. There was no, all of you that went to PoshFest said there was no mention of it. So there was no notice. Things are just disappearing. So I 100% agree with all of you that are upset. Like, we should have some type of notice. I mean, you just take features away and we're just like all speculating. And lucky for me, I have such great friends that tell me like, hey, share this information with your followers. I had a one-on-one meeting with Poshmark. This is what was told to me, and it is approved to tell other sellers. So lucky for me, I kind of have like, I don't even know if it's insider information, but I kind of have, I guess, insider information confirming from Poshmark that it's gone. But yeah, I 100% agree. I will say, I didn't know so many of you used bulk sharing, and I'm so glad so many of you reached out to me. You DM'd me on Instagram, comments on that video. That is my #1 most viewed video that I've posted, I think in like the last month. So, and the #1 comment was like, I use bulk sharing every day. I use bulk sharing multiple times a day. I feel like I was missing out on using bulk sharing. I said in that video, if you haven't seen it, I've never used bulk sharing, but after talking to you all, I'm like, I missed out on a feature I probably should have been using, because a couple of you said you use it to like refresh your closet for older listings, to bring them up in the search, to refresh them in your closet. I do have feedback direct from Poshmark about the future of sharing. So just stick around. I'm going to get to it, but follow me, friends. We're going to get to that. A lot of you said that you use, basically to refresh your closet. And I'm like, dang, I think I was missing out on using bulk sharing. I never used it because I have Posture VA, which a lot of you also said you feel bad for Posture VA because with all of these changes and updates that Poshmark is making, it's almost like sharing is obsolete, which it kind of is. I'm going to tell you that at the end of the video. It's not obsolete, but it's not like what it used to be. Like it doesn't matter as much as it used to. Really, it doesn't. And from all the changes they're making, you can see that it just doesn't matter. That's why they just got rid of that feature. I will tell you direct from the horse's mouth, 2 of you reached out to Poshmark about the bulk sharing. You emailed and you DM'd me, and everyone wanted to remain anonymous, but they did say that I could share the information from Poshmark. So this is not gossip. This is from Poshmark. I don't think bulk sharing is coming back. 2 of you reached out to Poshmark, and Poshmark said it's not coming back. One of you told me, thank you so much. Your email was so helpful. She sent me her email conversing with Poshmark. The guy was I think it was a guy. I won't say his name. The Poshmark employee was kind of snippy, but he was basically saying, and it was a very lengthy email, don't focus on sharing so much, because this person was really upset that bulk sharing was gone because she uses it multiple times a day. She hadn't seen my video yet, and she just noticed like, oh my gosh, this tool I use multiple times a day is gone. And he was like, don't focus on sharing so much. That's a thing of the past. It still is a tool you can use to like show activity in your closet, but what really matters is listing items that people want to buy. And I was like, dang, he's kind of like blunt. The way he worded it was a bit blunt, but I will say it's kind of like reseller advice. I mean, not reseller advice. It's kind of accurate advice for the future of Poshmark. Like sharing, in my opinion, from everything they're doing, I don't even know that sharing matters anymore. But I'll tell you what they said. But that's what he said. He was like, stop worrying, because they had a exchange going back and forth, and she was pretty upset, and he was just very direct. It wasn't even sassy, he was just very direct. He said, what we want sellers to focus on is listing items that buyers want to purchase. We don't want you to focus so much on sharing. It's still something you can do. It still shows activity in your closet. But as far as it making your items show up higher in search than someone else, that's a thing of the past. That's a thing of the past, friends. And so I mentioned in yesterday's video, again, if you haven't seen it, I'll link it down below. This is from 3 separate Poshmark employees now. They have all said that Poshmark is buyer focused right now. So every change they are making is to get more buyers on the platform and to keep the buyers on the platform that are already here, and to keep the new buyers that they get, buyer retention. So they don't want, he basically ended the email with saying Poshmark does not want items to show up higher in search just because they're being shared. They want items that buyers are searching for to show up in the search. And honestly, I told her this too. I was like, girl, honestly, hallelujah, because their search has sucked. From the day I signed up for Poshmark, I've talked about this. Their search is atrocious. It's not great now, but it's better than it was. And if you want to see their search in action, I recently signed up for their AI partner that they're giving away for free. If you don't know about that, I'll link that video down below. And it's better. It's not great, but it's better. And I'm glad to hear that they're working on that. So I don't know. Let me know your thoughts down below. I think sharing might, I don't know that it's going to become obsolete, but from the 3 Poshmark employees that we've heard from, it just doesn't matter as much as it used to. Do I think you should still share? Yes. And all the employees said, yes, you should still share, but it doesn't hold as much weight as it was. Something else that info came from one of you all that reached out to Poshmark. You watched my video. I will say, lately, if you reach out to Poshmark support, they've been getting back really quickly, like very quickly. I emailed them shortly after my video with a very long email, and I'm going to tell you what they told me directly in the email. But one of you told me that you reached out and said, you know, I heard you're going to have a new cancellation policy, excessive cancellations for sellers. It would be really good if you could also have a cancellation policy for buyers. I personally have not experienced this, but so many of you, I guess, are dealing with buyers buying things and canceling. Like, it's very common across the platform for resellers or sellers in general to experience excessive buyer cancellations. Even in my live sales, when I was in my like heyday, in the thick of live selling, like doing 5 or 6 live sales a week, that's when I had my best sales month on Poshmark ever. I did $26,000 in sales. It was insane. I was like 5 months pregnant. I did a video on it. If you want to watch that, I will link it down below. If you are new here, I always forget to say this in the beginning. Hello, my name is Nikki. I've been a part-time reseller for over 10 years. I started selling on eBay. That was my first platform, and then I added Amazon. I started with the 2 hardest platforms, and I'm honestly grateful my reselling career started with those, because every other platform after those has just kind of felt kind of easy. I then added the RealReal and ThreadUp, and then I started selling on Poshmark in 2019, and my newest platform, can I even say new? I've been selling there for 3.5, almost 4 years, is Whatnot. And my best sales month, $26,000, was insane. So I will link that video down below. Oftentimes I mention like 5 videos I will link below. If I forget to link them, please comment and remind me and say, hey, Nikki, you mentioned this video. Can you link it? I may not see your comment right away, but I will respond and link the video you're asking for. I'm human, friends, and I talk a lot in these videos. So if I forget anything you want me to link, just ask me in the comments and I will link it. It might take me a couple days, but I will get back to you. So I've never experienced that many cancellations, but apparently a lot of you have. And I will say, the Poshmark employee told this person, all of you that sent me your emails with Poshmark, thank you so much, because I'm able to share that information with thousands of other people so that they can be better informed. So I really appreciate you all. Is that they are thinking next year they're actually going to have a cancellation policy for buyers too. Now, if you're watching this 6 months, a year from now, and they don't have a policy, keep in mind things change, right? They took away bulk sharing without telling us. They may never do this cancellation policy for buyers, but right now, 2 Poshmark employees confirmed via email that they're looking at that. And I think they're going to kind of mimic what eBay does. If any of you have ever purchased on eBay, you can get banned if you keep buying things and one, you don't pay, or you keep canceling. I have many friends that had their account banned just as buyers. They're not even sellers. They would buy a bunch of things, bid on auctions, have buyer's remorse. One of my friends recently, she did that 5 times and they closed her account. I don't know what the number is. I purchase on eBay quite a bit, and I always pay right away because I don't want those dings on my account. So word on the street from Poshmark employees is that they're looking at also implementing a cancellation policy for buyers, which from what you all have told me would be very helpful. Actually, why am I saying that? It would be helpful to me too. Even though I haven't had a lot of cancellations, it would be nice if there's some repercussion to excessive canceling, like buyers buying things and having buyer's remorse or just not wanting it, because it just ties up our money and items that we could have sold elsewhere because they decide 7 days later they don't want it. So keep your eyes peeled. If that policy comes out, I'll try to update you as soon as possible. There's no like deadline or when this will happen for buyers, But I do know the cancellation policy for sellers is coming very soon. Here is what I heard from Poshmark directly. Like I said, after I filmed that video and I got all those updates for you, I was like, let me just email them and see if I get a response before I film this video. And I did. I asked questions about the first cover photo being white. That is coming. Again, if you haven't seen yesterday's video, please go watch that first, because you're probably like, what? All of the photos are going to be white? I did confirm that Poshmark is going to make your first cover photo white. This is platform wide. This is not just a couple sellers or beta. This is everybody. Your first photo of every single listing you create will have a white background. Poshmark said, like, if you still want to have those, you know, I don't know what you call them, those styled photos, those gorgeous photos that some of you have with like plants and you have it on like a mannequin and all that. They said, of course you can still do that, but just know, like, if you have that in, it's going to be whited out on the first photo. Or if you still want those, keep them in your listing. Just make it the second, third, fourth, fifth, whatever, you know. But just keep in mind that the first photo will be white. And you don't have to do anything. I confirmed they're doing it for us, because a lot of you were like, do we have to do that? And I was like, that's a really good question. No, Poshmark is going to do that. And number two, I asked, like, when is the excessive cancellation policy coming out? Like, if they had any more details. This was basically my one-on-one. Since I don't have one-on-ones meetings with Poshmark employees, I just put stuff in emails and hope they answer it. And this person, I'm not going to say his name, but this employee answered all of my questions kind of briefly, but he covered everything. He said, we're recommending, you know, that sellers stay on top of what they have to sell, because the excessive cancellations is skewing our data. We're not able to bring more buyers to the platform if we don't know what's the best selling items, if people are, and I talked about that in the last video, so I won't reiterate it, but like overall, their data is so skewed because as a platform overall, sellers cancel left and right. This person actually told me that within a 7-day period, they once had a week where there were over 150,000 cancellations. That is huge. And so it's hard for them to analyze data, to track what's selling. And he also mentioned that it's poor customer service, because they analyzed it, and a huge percentage of that, which he didn't tell me what they were, what the exact percentage was for sellers saying the item was out of stock. So it's not like it was cancellations for, oh, I'm going to rebundle you. It's just poor customer service. And they surveyed buyers, and many buyers, I don't know how many, it wasn't that specific, said that they don't shop on Poshmark anymore because, one, they bought from someone who never shipped their item. Like, the person just never, like, the order just got canceled because they never shipped it. Or two, the buyer said, oh, I don't have the item. You know how when you cancel, you can say, I don't have the item, or item is damaged? That made up like a huge percentage of the cancellations, and it's a big reason why they lost buyers. The buyer retention was hurting because of that. So as a business, that makes sense to me. But I also agree with all of you that if we are going to have a policy, I also agree that buyers should have one, the same way they do it on eBay. And so he kind of, like, he put like a sentence like, you know, we recommend sellers stay on top of their inventory and make sure they're only listing items they have. I didn't ask too many questions about the live selling feature that's coming, but if you didn't see that video, which you need to watch it, but an update that is coming very soon for live sellers is that within the 3-hour window after your show, if someone buys like 2 things in your live sale and then they go to your closet and they buy 2 things within 3 hours after your show, you on the back end can create one bundle. You just click a button. I don't know how it's going to work, but it's supposed to be really easy, where you merge the 2 sales and you don't have to cancel anything. That is huge for us live sellers. By the way, shameless plug, I am going live multiple times a week on Poshmark and whatnot. I always leave a link to my accounts down below. I put a wealth of information in my description box, like if I have any discount codes, link to my upcoming live sales. I have an actual Poshmark listing that if you like the listing, whenever I post it, it'll notify you that I'm live. So all of that is in the description box. My free ebook you can get, it's a 100 brand bolo guide. It's free. And then you're on my weekly newsletter. And if you don't want to be on the newsletter every week, you can unsubscribe, but it's all free. It's like a thank you from me to you for joining my newsletter. We're close to 2,000 subscribers on the newsletter. And I have a newsletter going out actually this weekend. So all of that is in the description box. I link my shipping supplies, everything. So that's all down there. But I'm really excited about that because I told you the process you have to do. If someone wants something from your closet, but they've already purchased something from a live sale, bulk sharing, he confirmed it's gone. Like, I was like, I asked in my email, like, is it coming back? This email was so long. You guys would laugh at how the length of my email to Poshmark, and then his responses were like bullet point, like 10 sentences. But I found it helpful. It's gone. This person doesn't think they're coming back. So he said what we're recommending to sellers is kind of like what I told you the other person heard from the Poshmark employee. List items people want. Send offers to likers, try to list new items that people want, like, hello, reseller 101. Refresh 10 legacy listings. And I was like, what does he mean by that? And he put in brackets, like, refresh older listings for price, title, measurements, shots, all those types of things. Maybe different keywords. And pricing hygiene. I was like, oh, I should use that. He said, recomp anything 90 days or older that's stale. Maybe consider dropping the price by 10 or 15% or add a shipping promo. I was like, I have never had such a helpful email from a Poshmark employee in a very long time. I don't know that I've actually ever reached out to Poshmark to discuss like actual platform issues. I always just reach out to them regarding orders. Like if I realized I wasn't paid out on an order or if something stopped tracking. I was thinking about that as I was reading his emails. Like, while my email was like 2 pages and his is kind of brief, this was very helpful. And maybe I should have been reaching out to them years ago, because I found that very helpful, you know, to have it come direct from Poshmark, that feedback. And he taught me I've been reselling for a long time. I've never used the term pricing hygiene. It just sounds very like chic. I like it. So I found that info helpful. Hopefully you found something in this video helpful and I haven't saddened you guys. Sometimes I don't like making these update videos, you guys, because I'm like, a lot of people are going to be upset and I don't want to be the face that they recognize when they're upset. So this is going to be the last Poshmark platform update video this week, unless something crazy happens over the weekend. I am going to be having my $100 challenge video coming out this weekend, live selling videos, and come thrift with me's. And then if anything occurs, I'll urgently get it up if I need to, but I don't just want to be known as like the reseller platform news gal. I'll take it. I love doing these videos. I'm just chatting at this point. If you are still here, consider subscribing. I am here multiple times a week. I try to get these info platform update videos out to you guys as expeditiously as I can, because I always say an informed reseller is a better reseller. You can make more money, you can make better business decisions. So subscribe if you enjoy these, but I do make other types of videos. I know some of you just subscribe for a certain type of video and only watch those types of videos, but consider watching other ones. I have a challenge right now where I'm taking $100 and I am sourcing and I am reinvesting that money. I'm using no outside money. And I'm gonna see how long it takes me to get to $5,000 profit. That video is coming out. I have a ton of sourcing videos coming out, so subscribe, check out those different types of videos. Update on my Poshmark consignment, I never got the bag. So I will say, Poshmark consignment, they don't reach out as fast as Poshmark seller support. I emailed them like 4 days ago. So I hope that person that sent her bag knows I'm not just like messing around not listing her stuff. I literally don't have it. I don't know what to do. They literally delivered it to an office building next door. And I went to the office building and they're like, we don't have that. So I don't know if someone stole it. I have no idea. So I think my next step, until I hear from Poshmark, I should reach out to the seller and be like, hey, I'm sorry, I don't have your stuff. And I went to the address, and it's not even an office building near me. It's like way down the street. They said they don't have it. I don't know if it was stolen. Like, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll leave a link to that video down below. So I don't know if I'll ever be able to review the Poshmark consignment process. I don't know, friends. I keep trying. I don't know. Subscribe. I'm here a lot. And we hit 20. Thank you to all of you that congratulated me on hitting 25,000 subscribers. A couple of you were like, you already have Christmas trees up? Yes, I have a problem. I'm very open and honest about it. I don't do a lot of holiday decor for other holidays. I'm not like a big Halloween decorator. I don't put up a bunch of fall things. But for Christmas, I always have been this way because my mom has always been this way. I just grew up with Christmas lights, Christmas trees. She would put Christmas lights on the ceiling. Like, she always went out, all out, like everything, all over. Like, every room in our house had a Christmas tree. We are a real Christmas tree family for our main tree, but then I use fake trees everywhere else. Like, I'm not exaggerating, I have a problem. So our main Christmas tree is not up. I'm filming this November 5th, November 4th. Early November. The main Christmas tree, the real Christmas tree, goes up after Thanksgiving. But so many of you were like, it's the first week of November. You've already... Yes, I have all the trees up except the main one, okay? I didn't put out my garland yet. I didn't put out my outside decor. But I love Christmas decor. Let me know in the comments down below. Do you wait till after Thanksgiving to decorate? Or do you start a little early? It just makes me happy. I can tell you the saddest day of the year for me is when I take down my Christmas decor. I literally get really sad. And I have to buy something new for the house to put in the place of where our tree was to make me feel a little better. It's usually a plant. I have a plant problem too. I have a lot of plants. Hence why I have a lot of these little like fly gnats running around, because I have like, we live in a little forest. But yeah, I actually get sad taking the Christmas decorations down. And I do take them down quickly, I will say that. I have started decorating earlier and earlier, but no matter what, it's a hard down New Year's Day. Like, everything is gone by January 1. I actually start a little bit before that, but like everything is removed. And then I get excited. I feel like doing that and sticking to that, like taking it all down, gets me really excited when November comes around. So yeah. Trees are up, friends. You're only going to see this get more and more Christmassy back here. The TV's going to be Christmassy. At least I just put flowers up. It's the best I can do, okay? But it's about to get really sparkly back here.